So this is interesting, and I agree with you, and I'll tell you why. In a story time, I was having lunch one day, and a gentleman walked in, and it literally looked like he had an additional aura or a spirit walking with him. And it was a very like tall, regal woman that she had like, I don't know, it looked like early 1400s or, but she had on like the dress up to here, and he walked as she was walking. Now, there are some people that see different spirits or entities or anything, and it immediately freaks them out. For me, I have to like remind myself not to stare too intently, and also to allow things to unfold as it needs to. So, his higher self literally whispered in my ear, "You should tell him what you see." And I could sense like he was walking, he was with his husband, and his husband was a little shorter than he was, but I had seen them somewhere before and I couldn't really place it. So I had to cut off my logical mind in trying to place him somewhere so that I could really focus on what I was seeing. And like she started making mannerisms, and he was making the same mannerisms when he was choosing his food. And when he got to the register, I walked up to him and I said, because before I walked up to him, I asked Spirit, I was like, is this part of his past life? And Spirit said, it's one of his past lives that is still trying to live through him, that has come through to help him through some areas that they were not successful in. So I was like, whoa. So I walked up to him and I said, hi, how you doing? I'm a psychic medium. I said, I'm not really sure what your belief system is. I said, but you literally have a spirit that's walking with you that's from your past life. She's very regal. She has like white hair. It's like in an updo, but she has like jewels and flowers in it. I was like, her dress comes all the way up to her neck. It's like lacy. And I start explaining everything I'm seeing. And he said, that's exactly how I feel. He said, like, every day, he said, when I look at myself, he's like, I'm always reminded to like put my chin up and to like put my chest out. He said, and I feel so feminine and so free. He said, and I've always felt like this in this, he said, I said, during this lifetime, he said, yes. And so his husband was like, do you see anything with me? I said, well, if I'm thinking about past lives, I was like, I don't see anything from your past life. I said, but you have a beautiful aura. And so I said, well, I just wanted to touch base with y'all. I said, I wanted to just let you know that your higher self wanted you to understand that you're walking in the truest form of yourself in this moment, and that your past life version of yourself is walking with you to make sure that you complete some tasks that they weren't able to complete. So you are not only divinely guided, but you are protected, and you're completing some cycles that weren't able to be completed before. And he said, thank you so much. And then he wanted to hug me. And because he came in like he was going to hug me. And I was like, oh, yeah. So he hugged me. I hugged his husband. I went and sat down. And I felt really good because there was a time when I didn't want to deliver a message. And I used to worry about what somebody was going to think, how it was going to look, how people were going to take it. But I've learned in my practice, just give the message. You have no idea what it means. You have no idea what it means to the person. And that's not really your call. Just do what you're supposed to do. And whatever they do with the information is what they do with it. So I agree with you.